The two-step flow theory is a communication model that has significantly shaped our understanding of influence and public opinion over the decades. This model revolutionized the way we think about how information spreads and how people are influenced by media and each other. Developed by sociologists Paul Lazarsfeld and Elihu Katz in the mid-20th century, this theory argues that information doesn't flow directly from media to the masses. Instead, it takes a more nuanced path. Rather than a direct transmission, information takes a detour through special individuals known as opinion leaders. These are people who are particularly influential within their social networks. Think of it like a relay race. The media outlets are the first runners carrying the baton of information. Media outlets such as newspapers, TV, and websites are the initial carriers of information. They pass this information on to opinion leaders. These opinion leaders are individuals within communities who are seen as knowledgeable and influential. They interpret the information and pass it on to their social circles. These opinion leaders then sprint forward, sharing their interpretations and opinions with their social circles. This process is crucial because it means that the information is filtered and contextualized before it reaches the wider audience. This is important because it means we're not just passive sponges soaking up information. We actively engage with it, question it, and discuss it with others. We rely on trusted voices to help us make sense of the world. These trusted voices, or opinion leaders, play a crucial role in shaping our understanding and beliefs. This theory highlights the crucial role of interpersonal communication in shaping our beliefs and actions. It's not just about the media we consume, but also about the conversations we have with those we trust. And it's not just about what we buy or who we vote for. The two-step flow theory impacts a wide range of areas in our lives. From public health campaigns to social movements, the influence of opinion leaders can be seen everywhere. They help to spread important messages and mobilize people for various causes. The two-step flow theory provides a powerful lens for understanding how ideas spread and how influence works in our interconnected world. It reminds us of the importance of community and the power of trusted voices in shaping our collective future. Before the two-step flow theory, the dominant model of media influence was the hypodermic needle theory. Sounds scary, right? This theory, also known as the magic bullet theory, was prevalent in the early 20th century when mass media was rapidly evolving. The idea was that media could directly shape public opinion and behavior without any resistance or mediation. It was a time when the power of media was both revered and feared. That's because it kind of was. This theory suggested that media messages were injected directly into the minds of a passive audience, producing immediate and powerful effects. The audience was seen as a homogeneous group, easily influenced and manipulated by the media they consumed. This perspective didn't account for individual differences or the complexity of human thought and behavior. Imagine a giant syringe filled with media messages being plunged into the unsuspecting public. The imagery alone is enough to make anyone uneasy. It suggested a one-way communication process where the media had all the power, and the audience had none. This model was simplistic, and didn't reflect the reality of how people interact with media. It painted a pretty bleak picture of human agency and critical thinking. People were seen as passive recipients, absorbing whatever the media fed them without question. This view underestimated the audience's ability to think critically and engage with media content in a meaningful way. But the two-step flow theory offered a much more nuanced perspective. Developed by Paul Lazarsfeld and Elihu Katz in the 1940s, this theory suggested that media effects are mediated by opinion leaders. These opinion leaders are individuals who pay close attention to the media, and then interpret and pass on the information to others in their social network. It recognized that people aren't just mindless robots controlled by media. Instead, they actively engage with media content, discuss it with others, and form their own opinions. This interaction adds layers of interpretation and meaning to the media messages, making the process of influence much more complex. We talk, we debate, we share our opinions. These conversations play a crucial role in shaping our understanding and attitudes. Opinion leaders, who are often more informed and engaged, help to filter and interpret media messages for their peers, making the flow of information more dynamic and interactive. We're active participants in the information ecosystem, not just passive recipients. This means that our social interactions and networks significantly influence how we perceive and respond to media messages. The two-step flow theory highlights the importance of these interpersonal connections in the process of media influence. This shift in thinking was a game changer. It moved away from the idea of a passive audience and recognized the active role that individuals and their social networks play in the process of media influence. This perspective opened up new avenues for understanding how media impacts society. It highlighted the importance of social networks and the role of interpersonal communication in shaping public opinion. By acknowledging the complexity of human interaction, the two-step flow theory provided a more accurate and comprehensive understanding of media influence. Instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, the two-step flow theory recognized the diversity of perspectives and the complexity of human interaction. It showed that media influence is not a straightforward process, but one that is mediated by social relationships and individual differences. And that brings us to a pivotal moment in history when this theory was first observed. It marked a significant shift in our understanding of media influence, paving the way for more sophisticated models that take into account the intricate web of social interactions and individual agency. Today, the two-step flow theory is more relevant than ever. In the age of social media, influencers play a crucial role in shaping public opinion and consumer behavior. Brands leverage these influencers to reach their target audiences more effectively, creating a dynamic interplay between media, opinion leaders, and the public. Modern examples and case studies show how this theory applies across various fields, from marketing to political campaigns. By understanding the two-step flow theory, we can better navigate the complex media landscape and recognize the power of social networks in shaping our world. The year was 1940. A time of great uncertainty and change. The world was on the cusp of monumental events that would shape the course of history. The United States was on the brink of World War II, with tensions escalating and the nation preparing for the inevitable conflict. The atmosphere was charged with a mix of anxiety and determination. At the same time, the presidential election was heating up. Franklin D. Roosevelt was campaigning for an unprecedented third term, and the political climate was as intense as ever. Amidst this backdrop, two social scientists, Paul Lazarsfeld and Elihu Katz, set out to study how voters were making their decisions in the midst of such a turbulent time. They were curious about the role of media in shaping public opinion. They focused their research on a small town in Ohio, meticulously tracking the flow of information and influence among its residents. This town became a microcosm for understanding broader societal trends. What they found surprised them. Contrary to the prevailing belief that media had a direct and powerful impact on people's decisions, their findings suggested a more nuanced reality. Media messages, particularly radio broadcasts, did play a role in informing voters. These broadcasts were a primary source of information, bringing news and political messages into homes across the nation. But they weren't the deciding factor. The researchers discovered that the impact of media was often filtered through personal interactions and discussions. Instead, people were turning to trusted individuals within their communities, family members, friends, barbers, even the local pharmacist. These individuals, known as opinion leaders, played a crucial role in shaping opinions and decisions. These opinion leaders acted as filters, interpreters, and amplifiers of information. They would take the media messages, interpret them, and then share their perspectives with others in their social circles. They weren't necessarily experts or authority figures, but they were respected voices within their social circles. Their influence was based on trust and personal connections rather than formal authority. This groundbreaking study revealed the power of interpersonal communication in shaping political attitudes and behaviors. It highlighted the importance of social networks and personal relationships in the dissemination of information. The two-step flow theory was born. This theory proposed that media effects are mediated by opinion leaders who receive information from the media and then pass it on to others. It challenged the prevailing assumptions about media effects and highlighted the vital role of social networks in influencing our decisions. The theory suggested that media's influence was indirect and depended heavily on social context. The initial research findings had a profound impact on subsequent studies, shaping the field of communication for decades to come. The enduring legacy of the two-step flow theory is evident in today's digital age, where social media influencers, much like the opinion leaders of the 1940s, play a significant role in shaping consumer behavior and brand perceptions.